I can see you, I can hear you. All good.
Correct.
Nice. How are you doing?
I'm good. Your hair looks nice.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Manisha. I'm 27 now, and I started the program. I was 26. I started Move with Purpose primarily because I just felt that, after an injury and after moving and so much happening, things happening in life, I just felt I completely disconnected from my body. And what drew me specifically is that I've done a few workout routines before, but it's always been focused only on the movement. So I like the idea of the movement being complemented on the side with the mindset work and both of it going together. That's why I decided to join.
Nice. Do you remember like 6 months ago, like the one thing you were struggling the most with?
I think it was just a lot of self hate. Like, it's not a nice term to use, but I think that's where I was at
Yeah.
when I started and what I was struggling with the most. Because every time I thought I should move, get some movement or something, I almost hated and dreaded doing it because I was scared. And I felt if I like from my injury, am I going to make it worse? So I was a little scared. And then I used to feel bad that I can't do what I want to do with my body. So I was just in a bad place overall.
Yeah, and I remember that. And you've had quite a journey, honestly, in the past 6 months. Like, if you look at everything that happened in the 6 months, like what changed for you?
That mindset again has been the biggest change. It's like honestly, I haven't actually lost weight in these 6 months, but I feel so different in my body. And it's like now I still feel a little frustrated sometimes, but it's for new things. It's not like where I used to feel frustrated that, oh, when I carry my groceries back home, I'm tired. Now that's become normal, but I'm more frustrated that, oh, I'm not able to go uphill as fast. But it's like the standard has changed. And
Yeah.
when that frustration hits, I'm able to say, hey, you know what? It's fine. Right now, I can't do it. This is my starting point. I'll work on it. It'll get better from here, which is a voice that's like new and activated, which I didn't really have before. It was just more of like, oh, we're not able to do this, or I'm not able to do this kind of harsh voice earlier. But now I have a new voice that I've learned and
Nice.
activated.
Yeah, and upgrading your standards. Like, I love that I think it's important to kind of like keep raising the bar, but also look at where you started from and like, oh my God, this is where I was at. And yes, right now I'm not being easy at all on myself because I'm just trying to raise the bar, but like, look how far you've come before, you know? When we met for the first time, so like back in August, wow, that's so long ago. Um, is there anything that almost stopped you from starting with me? Or what was the thing that was like, okay, I want to work with that girl?
I think the only thing that stopped me was from my end. It was the cost because I've been unemployed now for over a year. So it's been really hard I have to think 10 times before I invest money into anything.
Yeah.
Um, and I was really hoping, I like for the longest time, I was putting my fitness off because I thought I'd get a job. And then once I have that income, then I will invest in it. But then things happened. I found a flow. And I think actually the thing I was talking to many coaches at the time because I figured this is something that I might need more than a trainer or a workout routine. But the thing that really convinced me to go for this over anything else, in fact, it gave me that extra push where I didn't even have the money to invest in it, was just the holistic approach, like especially the more grounded approach, because like all the other coaches I spoke to others, there was a very like, come on, you can do this kind of energy to it. And I'm sure that helps some people, but doesn't really, it didn't resonate with me because I was in an odd place where I felt that each time I work out, I feel worse
Yeah.
and not better. So the grounded approach of, hey, it's okay. Like you don't necessarily have to feel so great about yourself, but do it anyway. Sort of. approach really helped.
Yeah.
So that's what made me feel like I think this is the right fit for me.
Okay.
Because
That's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I think I'm a bit on the same on like the cheerleader effect, like there's a lot of people out there that would just have like that cheerleader component, like, yeah, you can do it and everything, but it's important to have someone also to point out your blind spots and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's almost like it rejects the reality I was experiencing, which is this just feels miserable to do. Like to
Yeah.
put one foot in front of the other and take that step feels bad in my body. So rather than suppressing that and saying, no, no, it isn't, it's great, it really helped to sort of address that
Yeah.
and acknowledge that rather than, yeah.
Nice. And what can you do now that you couldn't do in your movement practice? Like because I know you've been working on a few things, strength and flexibility. So what's the biggest change in your results?
I think I can almost do a push up now. I can't yet, but um, I can almost like the fact that I'm close to attempting itself is like quite a development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video because I rewatched the video from 6 months ago and the one you sent me
Yeah.
like yesterday. And I was like, whoa, that's a massive change.
Yeah. I think that one has been the biggest sort of visible improvement. It's been quite incredible. And I think even the experience of doing it has been like, it's not just top and then bottom anymore.
Yeah.
Like, even when I attempted, that's what I started. But like, I'm actually able to move top and bottom together and then top and bottom together. It's still not entirely there. Like I'm still building the strength to sort of lift it up in one movement. It's still a bit broken, but it feels more together than it has ever felt before. That's not something I've ever felt in my body. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's something I saw on your video and I was like, yeah, your form is definitely better because you're not like doing one part or the other. You're really like trying to lower down like with your entire body and that's amazing, honestly. On the mindset part, on the life design part. First of all, like what is life design for you? How would you explain it?
Ah, I think life design, the way I would explain it is it's probing. If I had to use one word for it, I'd use probing in like the best way possible. It brings up a lot of difficult things, and one really has to have the honesty to, like, you have to be honest with yourself to really ask those questions over and over again and make sure you're really answering them honestly because to make the most of it. Because it could potentially be easy to just sort of hear the question and go, yeah, no, I already know that is fine. But like to really sit with yourself and probe, yeah, that's probing. Basically, it's more information. You get to learn more about yourself. You get to realize that you're doing things that you didn't even realize you did, like, or thought of yourself. Like, I never thought of myself as someone who's perfectionistic ever. Um, I've always been known to be messy and like to be okay with being however I am. I've never really associated with myself with those traits. And yet, when the questions were framed a certain way, I realized it does. Like, because I feel like I'm not at 100%, I'm not going for a workout. But that's perfectionism. That's me thinking. But like, if I were to go and do a half session instead of a full one, in fact, if I go for a half, I'll end up doing a full. But if I'm okay with that idea, I'm more likely to do it. And that's a trait which I didn't realize I had. I always saw it in other people. And it's like, oh, that's not very helpful. So sorry, I digress. But
It's fine.
yeah. So yeah, I would say for me the word I would use is probing. And probing can be really good because then gives you more information, more knowledge.
Yeah.
More information and knowledge, which is very helpful because that's what you need eventually to be able to work on it. You need to know what the problem is first. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
quite true. Like awareness comes first and then action. But like if you have no idea what you're supposed to work on, like how the fuck are you gonna do it?
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you feel like so Move with Purpose obviously was our one-on-one mentoring, so our communication, the programming. There was also the community, the live design. How did you feel supported in all that? What did you think about our communication, the way we work together?
I honestly felt seen a lot. I've often like I've struggled with my body image and fitness issues for about maybe 8 years now.
Yeah.
And in those 8 years, I've gone from having a problem, sort of starting working out and then seeing results and then being scared of my own results and not wanting them and running away from it, which was the first problem, which I didn't even register at the time is what was happening. Um, to then having this injury, and then the injury really made me very angry with myself and pushed me to do more, which led to more repeat injuries. And then I just sort of, every trainer I ever worked with just said, "Oh, you're overdoing it," and told me to slow down. But then I slowed down too much. So, like, figuring out how to moderate with myself. So I just felt really seen to have someone I can talk to about all this, like my fear of overdoing it and my and to like pull me up when I was underdoing it, both. It's
Mm.
like I've not really had both. And most importantly, I think like to just be able to talk about all of it with someone helped a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't had like one person I can talk to, because the moment you try and talk to it, at least in my life, when I tried talking about this with anyone, they instantly had solutions. It's like, here are the three things you can do to fix that. But no one was willing to really sit with it. Maybe because the people in my life themselves aren't, very fit or happy with their fitness. Um, at whatever level they are, even if they are far more fit than me, they're still not happy with their body. So they're not able to maybe sit with the discomfort. But it really helped to have someone to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I think as humans, when we talk to people, usually we don't want a solution, but kind of like being understood. And like sometimes it's just about saying it out loud to someone else and be like, oh, right, that's what's happening. And like, but I think like one of the human bias is just try to fix thing, you know? And sometimes it's just not about that. Even though like we did put some stuff in place to to help you, obviously.
And sorry, the same goes for the community as well. Like
Oh
even
yeah.
in the group calls and posts, like I remember the first time I shared a post on the community, someone commented saying, "Hey, that's really cool." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I was very shy to like post anything. And I haven't done it much. I did it more in the beginning.
Yeah.
But just the fact that someone at the other was there to like, say, "Hey, that's good on you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." Like,
Yeah, honestly, like you've showed up to most of the group calls, if I recall correctly. And every time the energy, like with you guys, has just been like really good and like really helpful. Like everyone is just also sharing what they're struggling with and like what worked for them. Because obviously, like something that works for you might not work for me and might work for someone else. So it's always nice to also have other people's perspective, to kind of like, okay, let's be smart as a group, you know?
yeah.
And how do you feel now? How do you feel like going forward, like after those 6 months? Like, what's in your head? Like,
I think I now have more than anything else the confidence that if I set a routine, I know I can get myself through it, because I've mentioned this before, but multiple times through the program. I think another thing I'm really grateful for with the way Move with Purpose is structured is that it's self driven. Because I've worked with many trainers and programs before, but it's always driven by them,
mm,
where, it's like, this is, they know the workout, I don't know the workout, so I just have to go and show up, and then they tell me when I'm in the workout what to do. So but because this is so self driven, like when I do it, what I do, how I do is the summit. Yeah, of course, you're giving me the exercises, you're giving me the workout, but even whether or not in that workout I'm going to choose to do a progressive overload or do the bare, like just what has been given, Am I going to push a little harder? How much am I able to do? The whole thing is so self driven that it makes me feel confident that I can do this myself without needing someone on the outside. And that's very empowering.
Yeah.
So, because I put like motivated myself, I got put on the clothes, I decided today is the day I'm going to work out. I decided to go there and decide which workout. I'm like, all I have to do is like go to this one place and see what I have to do. And then I start doing it till I'm used to those movements. Then I push myself in the movement to be like, okay, no, you can hold on 10 more seconds, just hold, it's fine. Like all of that is being done by myself.
Yeah.
So when I come back, I feel so much more accomplished for having done it because I don't feel like I just went and listened to someone. The obligation, it wasn't out of obligation, it's out of pure self driven motivation. And that now makes me feel confident that I can do this on my own if I had to. I'm not incapable of doing this for myself.
Yeah, that's powerful because obviously like having this way of programming and coaching is like, yes, I'm gonna build the smartest path for your situation and your goals, but it's also you're the one taking the responsibility. You're the one like going for the workout, like choosing your progressive overload, like making sure that you're doing it, contacting me as well, even though like I do like stay in touch like every week. Like it's proactive. And I think like if it's not, like if the people don't have the responsibility of change, like it's not gonna stay long term,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's been a very refreshing approach and a very new experience for me as well.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. And so what does move with purpose means to you now? Like in just a few words, like what does that mean?
It's like awareness. I think to move with purpose is just awareness because that's been the biggest shift for me. I'm sure if I stick with it another like not if when I stick with it in another 6 months from now, I'm going to see even more improvements and probably have more things to reflect on. But for now, I feel like the biggest shift in me has been, even during my sister's wedding with like sleepless, running around. I'm so used to in my body over all these years, shutting my own system down and needs down to just get what needs to get done, just get it done. But I couldn't help but notice that, oh, I'm feeling hungry right now, or I'm feeling tired right now, or like this much is okay, or to notice things in my body like when I don't have caffeine, I have more sustained energy through the day. But when I have caffeine, it's in a burst, but then I get zapped at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But if I avoid caffeine, then I'm able to sustain that energy from within for like, I can last insane hours as long as I'm not having any caffeine. Noticing these things in my body or even emotions when like something, I see a video from like a difficult year and brings back some memories. I can feel, okay, there is heat rising in my body. I can feel a palpitation. I can just the awareness of my body moving with me has changed. That's been my biggest change. Where I can't help but hear when my body is speaking. Basically. I can't help it anymore. It just comes. And I think that awareness is what move with purpose means to me. And I think that's what I really needed as well, because I was either overdoing it or underdoing it. And now I feel like I'm so much closer to being aligned with what I actually need.
Yeah. That's amazing. And like that mind body connection is so, I feel like in life, I've been there where I was just running on autopilot and like not listening to my body at all. And it kept breaking and breaking. And I was like, okay, maybe that's just not the way to do. Maybe there's another way. And that's what I'm trying to share with all of you, to be fair.
Yeah. It's like I used to listen, but only when the message was really loud and being yelled at me, like some form of pain. But now I know before it starts turning painful that, oh, if I push it from here, if I push it further, it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't.
Yeah. I like that.
It's really cool. Yeah.
What would you say to someone hesitating to join, or even yourself 6 months ago, like that is like, oh, should I do it? Should I not?
I would say you'd be surprised how it'll affect the rest of your life. Because, I mean, at least that's what it was for me as well. So, for me or anyone else, I would say I stepped into this thinking it's a fitness thing, it's going to help with my body image, it's, all this movement related. It doesn't even account for diet, would I lose weight? And like I was only thinking of this aspect in a silo. But the way the mindset has worked changed every aspect. Like I was unemployed when I started, I was unemployed now, but the same thing works and so much more in alignment with what I want rather than just applying for jobs randomly here and there. I know what I want and I'm determined to work in this direction. So it's like I found purpose and alignment there as well, which which I never expected. I'm more okay, like, because what unlocked for me was this underlying like fear and like the danger feeling of going after the things I want
Yeah.
for myself. And one of the biggest things I wanted for myself was to be happy in my body
Yeah.
and feel like my body can do the things I want to do. But the way this whole approach and the work and the confidence unlocked so many other things for me that it's made me more okay with setting boundaries with my family. It's made me it's affected so many things beyond fitness because it was more than just this.
Yeah.
So my message is you'd be surprised how it affects every aspect of your life, not just this, like a holistic.
Yeah, you give me chills. Like, that's so powerful, and that's exactly why I build it this way. Is there anything you'd like to share with me?
Thank you. I can only say thank you for for being you, for yeah, for for your own journey, your own, drive that led you to want to create a program like this and sort of share it, create it. I'm very grateful.
Right, well,
Somewhere in another part of the world, it's helped me more than you would ever know. Yeah.
well, thank you. You've been the one putting in the work in the end, and like I'm really and putting the trust also in me, and I'm really grateful that you did that for you for your life.